It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey, guys. Welcome back and happy Wednesday night. All right, guys. Well, we're back to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the Real Housewives of Dubai, which I am loving the shade already coming in the live chat. If you guys are a part of the live chat, well, if you're engaging, then just go ahead and smash that like button. Otherwise, Storm Doris with People's True Colors are starting to show on the shows. LOL. I can't. We have a lot to talk about because both episodes, there were some shitty things that were said, excuse my French, but also some very entertaining moments. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's welcome Jason. Hello.
Hey, it's like the after party here.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I'm actually down for, I can't do an Anchor Watch 11 p.m. live, but I can do it.
Hey,
like
you know,
10 p.m. is like, it's a soft spot. I can do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's not, it's not made for everyone.
It's not made for everyone. All right, guys. Well, we have already 100 people in the room, so smash that like button. Wow. Hi, guys. All right. So we're going to start with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This week's episode was it was interesting, but with just a few tidbit moments. I almost really want to spend the majority of this conversation on Dubai, but we'll go through it. So, Jason, out of both episodes, and I want to ask you guys in the live chat, which franchise do you think took over this week, Beverly Hills or Dubai?
Well, I think for the first time we've seen Dubai come out on top. It's just, I think we're starting to know these women a little more. Remember, it is their first season. It is a new cast of women, their dynamics, their personalities, their families. We're learning all of them. And I feel like now it's like refreshing. Like Chanel Ayan is just so refreshing. Yeah, I mean, like so funny. Like I'm laughing the whole time while I'm watching this. I love Sarah Al-Madani. Of course, I love Caroline Stanbury. I know not everyone loves her, but I'm enjoying the show. Tonight, it was better than Beverly Hills, but I have been really enjoying Beverly Hills as well. So I'm going to give the winner tonight to Dubai.
Okay. All right. So we're going to kick it off with Beverly Hills. Guys, I want you in the live chat again to vote which one was your favorite, Beverly Hills or Dubai. But we're going to kick it off with Beverly Hills because we got Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Adam, do you not know who Jamie Lee Curtis is?
I almost wanted to say Jamie Lynn, but I think I'm thinking of Britney Spears' sister. So I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, different generations.
Yes. Okay. No, but I do definitely, because I saw Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan, girl. And I know
okay.
Jamie Lynn Curtis is. Oh, Lee. Just kidding. All right. So getting back to it, though, we know that Kyle Richards, she's known Jamie Lee for a long time, and she is throwing kind of like this little luncheon sort of situation to give back. And I think it's amazing what they do. They do it for the Children's Hospital, St. Jude, right? It is St. Jude.
I think it's the Children's Hospital of, I totally missed that.
No, I know that it's a hospital in Los Angeles. Listen, I know that the commercial said St. Jude, but I don't want to take away from anyone because I was watching a lot of the commercials in between. But the point is, like, anything that has to do with children and the women supporting it, I think it's absolutely amazing. We've seen Jamie on in the past, and in this episode, if anything, I was so proud to see the fact that Jamie showed up. She filmed, sure, she, gave her time to this whole filming situation. Kyle Richards and her husband gave over $25,000 and Diana matched it. So the fact that Jamie walked out with a $50,000 donation to the Children's Hospital, that was worth every single minute of the probably, I'm going to say 2.5 hours that she was there.
I mean, for me, it was every single minute of Dorit fangirling over Jamie Lee Curtis, which I remember Jamie Lee Curtis from like True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So like I don't know. I would kind of fangirl over her too, but it's like everything she said or did, or when she was showing.
Chic.
That is so chic. Oh,
that is
my
so
gosh.
chic.
She was acting like someone just reinvented the wheel when Jamie Lee Curtis would pull out like something from her gift bag and show them, what they're giving away and stuff. And Dorit just cracked me up. I was like,
but Dorit,
really, I think everyone was laughing at Dorit.
She was excited. Jamie's a celebrity. Like Kyle said, she's been in the business for over 40 years. She's maintained being just like this big actress, or if you want to be more appropriate, I guess you say actor. I don't necessarily know, but she wants to maintain, or she has maintained that, and Dorit wants to applaud that. She's fangirling, and that's totally fair. But the real drama came from Diana and Sutton. And I love that Jamie was getting into it because Sutton was going to sit down and she goes, "Really, Kyle? Really?" And it was because Kyle, and this was shady as hell, sat her right next to Diana. Now,
okay, I mean, okay, never mind. I won't ask that question. I was going to say, do you think she meant to sit her right next to Diana, or do you think because it just seems so nonchalant? She was like, "Okay, Diana here, okay, Sutton just here." It was just kind of like,
oh, 100%.
but I mean,
she
listen,
definitely
she's
meant
very
to
well versed.
Yes, definitely. And by the way, guys, if you didn't watch tonight's episode, Lisa Rinna, Erica, and I think there was one other, I believe it was Garcelle. Lisa Rinna, Garcelle, and Erica, none of them were there. Lisa and Erica had the C word, which we can't say on here because of the algorithm, but I think I didn't hear whether or not Garcelle had it. But getting back to it, now Diana and Sutton obviously aren't getting along, and the women try to have a conversation, and Cherie Zampino is sort of the voice of reason, asking Sutton, "Why do you think that these women are not perceiving you well?" And she's like, "I think that sometimes I just open my mouth a little bit too much. And I think that sometimes I say a little bit too much." And she's like, "Don't you think that's a problem?" And she's like, "Well,
I mean, and she said, "How is that working out for you?" And I
yeah,
feel like,
how's that working out
I feel like
for you?"
Cherie is like literally the voice of reason when Garcelle is not there. And I don't know if it's voice of reason or Garcelle and Cherie are just really real with the situation. They're just asking a question. And that's all I think we need is accountability with the housewives, right? So she's just asking a question like, "How is that working out for you? Is it going well?" Because it seems to be affecting relationships you have within the group.
I mean, to be fair, you sat there and you mocked the fact that Dorit, like you're like, "I'm sorry, I didn't have a gun put to my head." And then you're talking about Erica.
I mean, Adam, you have to understand she was dealing with her French designer.
Oh,
who
shit. Sorry. No, you're right.
Could not get there, and she just had so much going on.
Immigration. No, you're right.
It's a big issue. So
it was yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't want to downplay that at all. Okay. So getting back to it, Diana ends up explaining, she's like, "I lost my baby a few months ago." She said, "I had too much to drink when I was in Mexico, and tequila is a blood thinner. And with tequila being a blood thinner, like she's like, I got on the plane and I started bleeding even more." And her story is so sad. But then when you pan back over to Sutton and having the conversation and being like, "Well, you were supposed to be on bed rest," and like talking about it, Sutton still seems, and I listen, Sutton was one of the first people to ever give me an interview when I started my channel. I have a lot of respect for Sutton, but watching her on the show, whether it's the edit or whatever you want to blame it on, it's very cringy. And the fact that she's even questioning a woman who just lost her baby, and she's saying, "I'm having really bad complications." You shouldn't even question that. Just like you got mad at Kyle for questioning you when you were talking about 2 miscarriages, Diana has every single right to get upset with you for questioning her.
And I think there was, and I don't know what the difference is, because we saw also at Kyle's event, Crystal kind of open up about her eating disorder and how she feels about that. And I think when Kyle kind of related to her with that certain circumstance, I think that was a good lesson for Sutton. Because Sutton was trying to relate to Diana too, to have, something in common where they can, I don't know, get over their little tiff or fight. But I don't think you can like fight with someone and then bring up something you have in common. And I don't know. It was very awkward. And I think this is going to carry on for a little bit. Although they did get to a point in talking at Kyle's party where, now is just not the time for a friendship or to even try to get to a friendship. And Sutton said, "I will be here if you want," and that's it. And I think we got a little resolution there.
But you always say this. I think that you said this in Dubai too. When women start off not liking each other, just like Sutton and Crystal, for some effed up reason, those are the ones who become the best friends.
I feel like there's some kind of weird energy synergy sometimes with the ladies, because they are in this social circle, they have a lot of money, and there's a lot of jealousy and stuff like that. I feel like if you meet someone and you're kind of like, "Wait, are you like a threat to me? Or like, am I going to be jealous of you?" There's this kind of like off-putting energy, which I felt happened with Sutton and Diana. And maybe they will come around to be friends. I mean, they're both very, very philanthropic. They're both very involved in like society and crap like that. Who knows? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and
you're totally right, but
they're going to end up friends.
I want to kind of move forward too really quick, because Lisa Rinna was having a conversation with Erica, and they both at the time, they were both sick. They weren't allowed to film. And obviously at the point that we got to this scene, the real cameras were in front of Lisa Rinna's face, which means that she got cleared. And Erica was, being talked to over FaceTime, which means that she wasn't. And she talks about it, and Lisa decides to ask her, which this felt so pre-produced. I'm not buying shit coming from Lisa and Erica at this point because, Lisa's like, have you talked to Tom? And she's like, I have talked to Tom. Tom found out that I had the C word. Algorithm, guys, pandemic. It's the.
I really think that algorithm thing is over. No, or is it?
Is it not?
Are they still doing that?
I don't know. I have anxiety. Like it scares me. Whatever. She said. She's like, Tom heard that I had COVID, so like he decided to call me. But every time he calls me, he's not necessarily there, and sometimes he doesn't even remember who I am. Lisa Rinna and Erica. Do you remember when Lisa Vanderpump was kind of outed in a way by Brandi Glanville, and Brandi said, Lisa and I used to talk all the time. We would talk before filming for hours, and we knew what we were going into and who our target was. That's exactly how this feels with Lisa Rinna and Erica. It's like, okay, we're going to talk about Tom a little bit. Ask me about Tom. I'm going to answer you. Ask me if I talked to him.
It did feel like that, Adam. And to go back to the whole Lisa Vanderpump Brandi thing, it's not, and I always say this, is not what, it's how, and the execution is just not there from Lisa Rinna and Erica, right? Like Lisa Vanderpump and Brandi could pull that off,
right?
This just looks a little like, okay, so tell me, what did Tom say? Well, we're really separated, so everything's separated, but I'm not getting divorced because then he'll get alimony, ha ha ha. It just feels like, okay, you guys are
pick this shit up. And she's like laughing about like, I'm not in a rush to get divorced because I'd have to pay him alimony. He's in a senior assisted living facility, and we all know what that means. Girl, give up the earrings, pay the victims, and move on with your life. You should honestly hand over everything. And I know that, remember we met that really, wasn't her name Jeannie? The really sweet woman from Hibachi.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And she said to me, she's like, you need to be nicer to Erica. And I'm watching the show, and I'm like, I can't. I'm not trying to be difficult.
I mean, listen, when they were talking about the article that came out in the Los Angeles magazine, and, she was kind of saying, well, this information's a year old. They're calling me ambitious. And I mean, it kind of comes off that way. I mean, a lot of people, because you're connected to Tom and you were married to him for so long, and people still have so many questions. People are going to say what they are going to say. It's just she doesn't do a very good job of like, I don't know.
You're getting upset with people calling you ambitious, and you had $20+ million funneled into your. Funneled into your business account while you're doing music videos, screaming to the top of the ceiling of
with money flailing everywhere. Yeah, I understand that. I felt for her for maybe like 0.00000025 seconds when she said it feels like they're taking my humanity away, and I'm like, God, you're kind of backed into a corner, but I really don't know how to feel because it's hard to give you empathy when we haven't really seen any empathy for, regardless if you knew about it, regardless if you were involved in anything, there has been no empathy. And that's where it's hard to feel sorry for Erica right now.
It almost sells her in a different way because at the end of the day, if I knew, and I'm not saying Erica knew something or whatever. I know Erica watches. I know I have friends who are friends with Erica. I've heard our channel has been brought up in Erica's mouth. She thought we were going to be the one who was going to leak.
Been brought up in court.
Right. In court, she thought we were going to be the ones who leaked the Ronald Richards, Tom Girardi conversation. The point is, at the end of the day, for Erica, because I know you're watching, just saying, I feel like had you have really not known, not saying that you did, but had you have really not known, you would be so much more shocked and, oh my God, what can I do? And the way that you're portraying yourself to the viewers almost comes off like, I knew something and now I'm trying to protect myself and I have my best interest and I have to hide something. Not as like, because if I found out, Jason, if I found out that you were scamming people and stealing their money, burn victims and victims of, plane crashes, I would be shocked, mortified. What can I do to give back? If I was in on the secret, right, I would sit there and be like, you don't know me. I'm strong. I'm trying to keep it together. Tom's house got broken into and then, he confronted the burglar. You know what I mean? Like that's how I would be.
I understand. Yeah.
Right. So it's like it throws us off. It's so hard to watch and like we're not getting it. But hold on, that's not it, Erica, because Diana Jenkins is throwing a Christmas party and we have to talk about that. Now,
well, before that, we should talk about who did we get finally after how many episodes have we been through without Kathy Hilton? She finally made an appearance.
Kathy
in
Hilton.
the most Kathy Hilton way you could possibly think of. She is the most like rich, like here, just wait, hear me out really quick, because she's like the most like rich, like kind of, oh, this is the way you do things, but like the house is kind of a mess, and like, you know, she like makes this potato that they do in Paris and stuff with the caviar and everything. And we were both looking at each other like, what the hell is this? Like, what is going on? She's so down to earth at the same time as she is this like elite social whatever
caviar
person.
And a baked potato is not down to earth, but
I mean, listen, that baked potato looked a lot different than the one on Meredith Mark's Instagram, who actually is in Paris eating that the proper way. It did look very different.
Yes, definitely. Well, but she's doing it on her own. She showed, and when she covered the baked potato because she said it's too hot, it was in a monogrammed freaking white cloth that had Kathy Hilton on it. So hold on, wait a minute. And you're stuffing it with caviar, and you have the pearl spoons. But the point is that she came in, she was funny. Who's hunky dory? She brought it, but it almost makes me kind of cringe because we know that this is not going to be a fantastic season for Kathy Hilton, but she's finally here, which means we're about to get to the drama. Now,
and isn't that funny how like everything started with Dorit's robbery, with Diana and Sutton kind of not getting on, and the whole Erica and Garcelle thing. It's like they were literally warming us up, because I feel like the rest of the season now with Kathy entering and the whole Lisa and Kathy situation is just going to be smoke and fire everywhere.
Well, 100%. And, you know, I know that I don't want to skip over a few things because I saw that, you know, Krista was talking about her eating disorder, and that, you know, that breaks my heart for anyone. I talked about this when Zach and we were talking about the tour, and I struggled with my own things, and people were telling me it's not normal as a guy to have an eating sort of situation. And I don't know what to call it. I was never formally diagnosed with anything, but I also, you know, like I thought about it in my mind, and I'm like watching her, and I see where people are bashing her on Twitter, and they're like, girl, get a new storyline, be original. And it's like, that's not a storyline. People suffer with that all of the time. So my heart goes out to Crystal. And when you feel like you have to like throw up after you eat, and you hate yourself after you eat something. I was laying in bed with Jason watching Beverly Hills in Dubai. I was starving because we ate dinner at 3:00. And I said, Jason, I'm going to order a pizza. And he's like, don't do that.
Don't do that. No one wants a pizza at 9:00 at night before you go to bed. It's just no.
I wanted a pizza. But point is, you know, like I don't want to pass over, you know, Crystal's eating disorder. And I hope her opening up really helps other people, just like we've seen with other housewives in the past.
Agreed.
I do want to go over to Diana Jenkins' Christmas party. First of all, her and her relationship with Asher still throw me off a little bit.
You know what, for me, it's Asher. It's just funny because he reminds me of this, like, I don't know, like, you know, he reminds me of like a Tom Sandoval. These crazy, like, fun outfits, except they look a little different on Asher. You know what I mean? Even his sunglasses when the wedding planners, I'm thinking of Dubai, his sunglasses when the party planners came over, or his like red, like silky velvety, you know, suit. It's an odd dynamic, but whatever they have, I guess it's working, but it is a bit just
I want to leave them alone. I just don't understand, but I don't need to understand. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have a baby. I don't want to mess with your family. You've been through pain. You lost a baby. It just like, it's like, I feel like they're a no-fly zone. Like, we can go in on Erica all day.
I mean, listen, though, you have to say, besides Diana and all her, you know, dumb comments on social media and the way I mean, the only thing I can say is, that kind of thing has to go, because it's really bothering me now. Every time I watch her like licking her bottom lip. Asher hasn't done anything wrong. What can you say about Asher? Whatever they have works, obviously.
I mean, it works. And, you know, they threw a beautiful Christmas party. And at this beautiful Christmas party, we are missing one person, but we got another person. So we hadn't seen Garcelle all episode until Diana's party, but Sutton conveniently could not make it. So Lisa Brennan was like, we're dropping like flies. And then Crystal Kung Minkoff showed up, and she's like, I'm dressed like the Grinch with my short dress, but then was speaking with the kids. And editing was being a little shady there because I'm sure she had her moments with the Housewives. But at the end of the day,
I do have to say though, didn't it feel sometimes like Crystal fit more in with the kids than with the Housewives? I was like, oh, this conversation's better. Like, over here.
I think
I don't want to
it's
be
because-
shady, but it was
no,
kind of
it's
like,
not being shady. I think it's because she's younger and a more youthful energy.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Her husband's older than her, but she is younger. And then
But also Diana's kids have I don't know about, Diana's kids seem to be a little more, I don't know what we're doing here. It just seemed like it was a better fit. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. We'll take it. But I want to fast forward and get to the point here of before we get into Dubai, because we're 21 minutes in, guys, 300 people in the room. Don't forget to smash that like button. Erica and Crystal. So, Crystal I was just going to say, Crystal's explaining her eating disorder. And Garcelle is right there, and they're having this conversation. Eric is like she seems genuine in the sense that she's trying to understand at first, right? But then she's not a doctor. She doesn't have a medical background. And she's like, girl, instead of throwing it up, not verbatim, she didn't say this verbatim, but she's like, instead of throwing things up, just take a laxative and it out. And you're like, okay, that's one way to say it. And Garcelle was like, what?
It's just though, it's where it got, where Erica like is deaf to the conversation, which this has happened numerous times already this season, probably from the drinking and whatever, is she doesn't let it go. And she keeps asking, so, when you eat and it goes down, is that when you feel guilty? Like she keeps digging and digging and digging. And then finally, when she goes for like the chicken finger and she turns over to offer Crystal, oh, never, you can't have it. Girl, like so tone deaf, like completely.
Well, should we wave $100 bill in front of Erica's face and be like, oh no, you can't have it? You know what I mean? Like that's such an asshole move to do to someone who's talking and being very open and vulnerable about an eating disorder. Oh, do you want a chicken tender? Oh no, you can't have it because you're going to throw it up. Like that's the rudest thing that you could possibly do.
Unbelievable. You think it couldn't have gotten any worse from Garcelle's party? And this, I say this a lot though, Adam, like, it's like you think it can't get worse and it gets worse.
Right. I mean, Erica should not have had the champagne before the party, and she shouldn't have had a drink at the party because, first of all, now I'm starting to really honestly get on the train with social media and what everyone's saying, or I'm starting to find this to be like a little BS, like bullshit. I'm starting to really think that Erica is trying to be so outlandish because by her doing that, it's taking she can orchestrate the conversations about Tom that the fans want to know through Lisa Rinna, and then she has control over those conversations, right? Like I'm just speculating here, conspiracizing, but then she has control because her and Lisa Rinna are on the same wavelength. And then she gets to come over here and be like, look what I did. Hey, you should have a chicken tender. And it's so crazy and ridiculous that we're no longer talking about her and Tom or all of her lawsuits. We're talking about how rude and like wild she was being at a party.
Yeah, it's like that trick. Look over here while I do something else over here. Like, it's like a pickpocket.
It's like a magic trick. And now I'm starting to not buy it. Now I'm starting to think like you're not a dumb woman. You're very smart. You're intelligent. You know what's going on. You've made a lot of like admissions in your book, in press. Like I sign my tax returns. I sign my, you know what I mean? Like you are a very smart, intelligent woman. You don't play dumb. So now all of a sudden, why are you acting dumb? Do you want a chicken tender? Like
I don't know. I feel like here, and I think this is what we're going to get in the rest of the season as well. Now that Kathy Hilton has entered the building, is we're going to see Erica and Lisa Rinna, who apparently are on their last season of their contract. So I don't know if they get renewed or not. I mean, they've both been on for a very lengthy amount of time. Not as long as Kyle. But I think now we're trying to like push the drama.
Right.
And let's forget about that. Let's create other drama. So we're focused on that so much so that we have to see them both back next season.
Right.
I mean, to be a housewife, it takes a lot of work nowadays.
It takes really a lot of work. And I'm calling it right now, either Erica or Lisa Rinna. I think that one of them is going to be out for season 13, but let's focus on season 1 of The Real Housewives of Dubai. Guys, again, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button. But I want to kind of switch this up really quick because I don't want to make it like an Erica bashing session. She can bash herself and she'll get into a fight with Ronald Richards. And at the end of the day, then everybody will put it in the press and then they'll talk about that and let them have that. And then we'll come here and we'll review it. In the meantime, let's talk about Dubai. Dubai, this was an interesting episode. And if you guys didn't watch, well,
fun episode. Sorry.
It was a fun episode. And Chanel Ayan does not disappoint. She is hilarious. And Caroline Stanbury, she's getting married to Sergio. We know this. And Sergio and Caroline's parents finally meet. This was so uncomfortable.
This was so awkward.
It was so awkward.
I mean, like, I feel like, you know, Caroline's parents are just kind of at that age of just like, whatever, you're getting married again. Cool. It was nice to meet Sergio's parents, though. You can see where his energy kind of comes from and his likability. But it was just awkward, right? Like, I could not wait for that scene to be over.
It was awkward. And, you know, like, how is your English? Is your English good? And it's like, just fucking talk to her. Just talk to her and act like, how was your day? And then when she says, my day is good, then, you know, like, you can figure out how her English is. But it's
right.
You know,
read the room. Yeah.
Read the room. But Caroline Stanbury and Sergio, I love their relationship. And, you know, I really cannot wait to see the wedding. We know that Caroline Stanbury does everything over the top, just like the $700,000 choker that she wore to her engagement party. She has things that are given to her, loaned to her to use because she is this influencer, right? So her life is over the top. But
totally over the top. And I just, okay, here's the thing, because I see, and I've said this before on here, I understand why people think like Sergio and Caroline might not be like a thing, but you have to remember, like, when you did the interview with Caroline Stanbury, when you first started your channel, that was what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
She was like your first interview, right? And when she had you on her podcast, Divorced Not Dead, she said, you know, I dated this guy for a year before I even told anybody about him, because I didn't, you know, I wanted to see if it would work, especially, you know, she has kids and a family, and they've been together for a long time, a longer time than Dubai has even been a thought in Bravo.
No,
you know,
and
so
he just wants tiki. That's all he wants is some tiki. But
it's
you know,
so funny because sometimes his age shows. Like,
we're the same age, which is kind of funny.
That's funny. That's
actually
funny.
Me and Sergio are the exact same age.
And you and Sergio are both, I think Caroline said, a bridezilla, because I would imagine you would be a bridezilla too.
I wouldn't be a bridezilla because I never want to be a bride.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Lord have mercy.
Take that diamond and shove it up your... No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So, getting back to it really quick, though. You know, I'm excited to see the wedding, but the engagement party, it was, of course, over the top. And, you know, Caroline doesn't hold back in the sense that she's like, this is my friend's place, and she wanted to hold the first wedding. You can tell it's almost like, you know, everything is loaned or given. She's not coming out of pocket for anything, which is really the smartest way to do it, right?
This is how rich people keep their money.
This is how rich people keep their money. And then we have other things going on. Now, one, I want to say my heart goes out to Nina Ali because her dad is battling with COVID and she can't do anything. And she even mentioned it a couple times that this is one thing that money can't pay for. And that's so true. When it comes to the health of your friends and your family and your loved ones, money can't pay for that. And you can see her crumbling and you can see that her heart's breaking. And my heart really breaks for her. I was reading on Twitter as we were watching the show and people are like, Nina, get a new storyline. Again, just like with, you know, Crystal Kung Minkoff, that's not begging for a storyline. Like if you have an eating disorder or your father is sick, like let's have a little sympathy here, guys. Like people are still human. And even though we're watching them on a show, they're not just like a character. This is a real person. So for Nina, again, my heart broke for her, but I want to get to the real drama of this episode. Aside from the hilarious moments that Chanel Ayan gave us.
Okay, one thing I do have to say is I love her relationship with her son, Chanel.
Oh my God. No,
I love watching it. This is amazing. Like, she is TV gold, almost to the point where, like, I feel like she could have her own show and we could, like, follow her around. I want a Chanel spinoff. I want her on the show, but I want to, like, you know, because she spends a lot of time in Idaho, which I think that's where her husband is from. And I believe they have a restaurant there. It'd be nice to see, like, okay, when you're not filming and you have to go back to Idaho, I want to see that Chanel. I want to see that show.
Can you imagine Chanel in Idaho? She's like, period.
Oh, she like lives half the year over there or something, right?
But could you imagine her being like, I went into the bank and I said, give me my cash verbatim. Like,
verbatim.
In Idaho, they're like, What?
What did she had some great ones. I mean, some great analogies, some great things. I forgot what she said about the hyena with Caroline Brooks,
Oh,
about
she said she's pretty on the outside
case
and then she has a
closed,
dirty
or
mouth.
yeah, that's proven to be true.
But Caroline Brooks, here's the thing, guys, and this might be unpopular opinion. I think Jason and I might agree on this. And first of all, this is the first season of the Real Housewives of Dubai, right? I think we're all open to everyone. Everybody has clear favorites. We have some people who we find to be boring already. We have some people who we find to be like kind of out there. For Caroline Brooks, there are signs that I'm seeing right now. Like Chanel Ayen, I'm obsessed with. Lisa Milan, I'm
easy
obsessed
because
with.
Chanel
Sarah Almadani, obsessed with.
Same. And Chanel has this way of like, she can have conflict and drama, but she's always like this funny kind of easygoing personality. She's very, I don't know. She's just easy to watch. It's fun. It's refreshing. Lisa Milan, I really like her. I love her family. Also, I can't believe how long that goat has lasted.
I mean, Miss Goat has been around.
Sarah Almadani, she doesn't show like when she gets like kind of mouthy like in person, but in the texts she does. She's like, let me tell you something in this text message. I'm going to go through exactly what I said.
She said it was bullshit because something was repeated to her, and it was Nina repeated the conversation that Caroline had with her. And then she repeated it to Sarah, and Sarah said that your rendition of that story is bullshit.
Right.
Okay. But that's how she felt. Now, should she have talked to Caroline before she went on this whole like group text thing? Yeah, probably. But this is the Real Housewives. And when they're talking, there are things that I agree and disagree with on both sides here. But getting back to the Caroline and Sarah Almadani thing, the situation of her talking about her son, Sarah did ask, go back and watch. And I had to go back and watch last week's episode. Sarah said, I don't want to offend you. Do you mind if I say something? And she said,
yes,
no.
She did start with that. Yeah.
Yeah, say whatever you want to say. And she's like, what did she say? I think that you need to be more, it wasn't present, it wasn't affectionate.
It wasn't affectionate. It was more, and we just watched this too.
I know, we just watched it. It was like,
that you need to be closer to him.
She's
not, like, not as distant. Yes. Like that, like closer to him. And I don't know if she was meaning even like distance, because they were talking about sending him to boarding school when he's a certain age.
Your kid upstairs and
yeah, but like I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt here, but like it was like Caroline took like something she heard that like really triggered her and just like went with it. And even her friends agreed. Like it would be probably good for you to hang out with Sarah a little bit, because Sarah's right. Her friends. So
those
like,
are your best friends of over 20 years.
Those are your best friends. So maybe,
and this is, again, we don't know Caroline Brooks, and this is not a Caroline Brooks bashing thing. Jen Shaw
told
me that
this
Caroline Brooks was amazing.
Yeah,
She's
this
really
is
great
not
friends with her.
Okay.
Well, she did.
No, I know. We've seen things from Caroline Brooks already, and she is going to be definitely like the hot, as she put it, hot tamale. Earlier when she called Chanel, who looked like a beautiful hot tamale in the desert in her wedding dress, which wasn't a wedding dress.
It was a leotard.
It was amazing. What she called herself, like a Khaleesi goddess, desert goddess.
I mean,
or something.
I loved it.
Freaking amazing.
I loved it.
No, we've seen little things of Caroline, which, I'm not a huge fan of the way she speaks with her staff, or how, she has pictures of her. I mean, her ego is kind of big. I mean, that's what she's shown us so far in this season. She has pictures of herself everywhere. She really is this, like, I don't know. It's like fake elegance. I don't even know what to call it, but
I do want to say too, you know what she gave me in this episode? Because you know how, like, again, going back to Brandy has been very honest in the past. She's very open. Brandy Glanville from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And she talks about, like, she has to drink a lot before filming because she's not comfortable. Well, she said that she gets anxiety, and she knows, like, when she goes into a moment where she has to call someone out or be aggressive or, like, really be in the moment, and she knows that, like, the eyes are on her, Brandy throws back some drinks. For Caroline, where it looked bad in this episode is you could so obviously tell Sarah Almadani was like, let's have a conversation. I'm not drinking. I don't drink. And Caroline could barely keep her eyes open. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, the problem is that you've all had conversations off to the side. Caroline has had conversations. She called Nina. She called Lisa. Sarah is being called by everyone who Caroline has called. And now she knows that this conversation is coming. And now since you guys have told all of the women, now you have to sit there and awkwardly have this conversation.
Why was Nina the one? Okay, Nina was just trying to, I think, kind of put communication between the two so you can squash it, right? But then she's over yelling at Nina, who like didn't even want to be at the party because of her dad being sick. And while Lisa is over there telling the girls and Sarah the same thing.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. What I'm here for, though, the drama. I mean, we're getting some drama on Dubai.
So. Murray, please smash that like button, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. 330 in the room. Don't forget to, like Murray said, smash that like button. And thank you for the super chat. But no, this isn't a Caroline. Like, listen, this is a one moment where we're seeing it's not going in Caroline's favor. I hope to see many moments that do go in Caroline's favor. But in this moment, when she's sitting there and she's like, you know, like kind of closing her eyes, and you can see that she's kind of nodding off, and the producers are like, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know what's going on. You know, Sarah Al-Madani, it doesn't look good, but we'll have to see. Editing does play a key role in this. Like when we dropped off of episode 3 or 4, whatever episode it was, and they made Lisa Milan's husband look like an asshole, but really when we got to the actual episode,
that conversation was nothing like that.
It was like, nothing like that. So we need to wait for that actual moment, and we still haven't gotten to meet, you know, Caroline Brooks to the full extent yet. I think I do honestly believe, with Jason and I being around other people in reality TV, Vanderpump Rules, whatever, that editing does play a huge role. So I think that she deserves the benefit of the doubt, and we'll give her that grace. I do also want to say, in defense of Caroline, when you ask someone or try to preach to someone about like how to parent, it's never going to go well. But
this is true.
In Sarah's defense, she did not try to preach to you how to parent. She didn't try. If anything, your two best friends that you're so forgiving of, that walked you into the engagement party with the sand that you hate so much living in Dubai, they were the ones saying you should listen to Sarah Al-Madani. So be pissed off at Brian and Adam. I hate Adam and Brian because Adam's name is Adam. And I just hate him because his name is Adam. And there's only no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. But seriously, like, be pissed off at your friends. Sarah doesn't even know you. They know you and they're saying this. Sarah's just like, maybe I think that you need to be closer with your son. And Caroline Brooks is like, don't tell me how to be a parent. My kid is going to boarding school. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't look that great.
I mean, that's, yeah, it's a little backwards. But I don't know. I'm excited for next week. You know, I love to see a mini Ladies of London reunion. Sophie Stanbury is going to jump in, you know, next episode. Juliet Angus. I'm here for it. I'm here for the wedding. Yeah. I'm here for this whole thing happening. I can't believe we're getting like a mid-season wedding, and we're just like halfway through. Not even halfway through, right?
We're not even halfway through.
It's great. Nope. I mean, this is like, you know, it like we said at the beginning, it's just that first season. We're getting to know the ladies, the dynamics, their personalities. And now I think like we know them well enough where they're going to start to shine, and we're going to see kind of more of a show. So
yes, I agree.
Hopefully.
And guys, I do want to say with that, I'm liking the timestamps feature on this live recap.
You're welcome.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Because you don't know how to add time. I added timestamps. So like if people are watching this recap on replay, they can watch Beverly Hills or Dubai.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Oh. It's a YouTube thing, Adam.
Oh, thanks, guys. So, guys, we just added timestamps, which is so exciting. I'm so excited to share this new feature with you guys, and I hope you all enjoy it.
This new feature.
Piss off. No, but seriously, guys, thank you so much. I think that we covered really like the main points of both Beverly Hills and Dubai. Jason and I are going to Orlando this week. So if we catch any of you guys in Orlando, that would be amazing. But we're going to Orlando. It's my stepmother's birthday, and Jason's going to spend some time with his sister, and then we're going to come together. So I think we're going to do our best. I'm going to try to introduce you guys to some of my sisters and do sort of a vlog. It's iffy. We're going to try, but it would be a members only vlog. And then on our way back, because originally we were going to do a road trip vlog tomorrow, kind of like
we'll do it Sunday.
Yeah, we're actually leaving tonight right after this. It's a 2-hour drive, so we're going to go right after this. We're not going to do a live vlog on the way there, but we will do one on the way back. And then we're going to try to do, well, not a live vlog, but just a live period. We're going to try to vlog while we're there. That way we have just something fun for the members only. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button. We have more pre-records coming your way. Don't worry, the camera is coming with us. And if anything comes up, I will be posting it on the channel. Jason, did we miss anything?
No, just though I think we are going to repeat our members only Let's Whine About It on Monday.
Yes, on Monday.
6 p.m. So grab your I would say grab your glass. Grab your glass and come join us on Monday. And I think on that live we'll tell you all the interviews we have coming up next week.
Yes, exactly. Meet the siblings. Yes. Yes, exactly. All right. So guys, we're going to and drive safely. Don't worry. It's not Jason who's had champs. So
no,
guys, we're going to make it there.
Drive, so.
Yeah. And I don't drive literally. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, show some love. 350 in the room. That was amazing. I know that we normally don't do lives this late. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all of our moderators. Thank you to Murray for the super chat. And if you guys have anything that you want to like message me about, I did post Ask Me a Question on my Instagram stories. So go ahead. Ask
this
me
is what he's going to be doing for the next 2 hours. So if you guys
I'm going to be answering questions. So go
be in the car answering questions. I'm just going to be trying to listen to a podcast and like, okay, answer your questions. I don't need to know what they are.
You're so annoying. All right. Love you guys. Bye.